Microsoft just dropped a bombshell at the Xbox Game Showcase. After years of watching Nintendo dominate portable gaming and Valve shake things up with the Steam Deck, they're finally joining the handheld party. But here's the twist. They're not actually making the hardware themselves. Instead, they've partnered with ASUS to create two Xbox-branded handhelds, the ROG Xbox Ally and the beefier ROG Xbox Ally X. You might be thinking, wait, isn't this just another Windows gaming handheld? Well, yes and no. These devices run Windows 11, but Microsoft has completely rebuilt the experience from the ground up. When you boot up these handhelds, you're not staring at a tiny Windows desktop trying to navigate with a controller. Instead, you're dropped straight into a brand new full-screen Xbox interface that feels like a console. It's got your Game Pass library, but it also pulls in Steam, Epic Games, Battle.net, basically every PC gaming storefront you've got games on, all in one place. The timing here is fascinating. Nintendo Switch 2 is launching this summer at $449, Valve's Steam Deck OLED sits at $549, and Microsoft's throwing their hat in the ring for holiday 2025 with what industry analysts are guessing will be priced between $599 and $999, depending on which model you grab. Let's talk specs because there are two distinct models here. The standard Xbox Ally rocks an AMD Ryzen Z2A processor. That's 4 Zen 2 cores with 8 RDNA2 GPU cores. You get 16 gigs of LPDDR5X memory and a 512 gig SSD. The target here is 720p to 900p gaming at 120 frames per second. Not bad for the entry model. But if you want the premium experience, the Xbox Ally X is where things get spicy. This beast packs the Ryzen Z2 Extreme with 8 Zen 5 cores and 16 RDNA 3.5 GPU cores, plus an AI NPU that delivers 50 TOPS. That technically makes this thing a Copilot Plus laptop in handheld form. You're looking at 24 gigs of that same fast memory and a full terabyte of storage. This one's targeting 900p to 1080p gaming, still at that buttery 120 FPS. Both models share the same 7-inch 1080p display with 120Hz refresh rate and variable refresh rate support. They've got USB-C 4, Thunderbolt 4, Wi-Fi 6E, and here's something cool, support for ASUS's XG Mobile external GPU dock if you want to supercharge your gaming when you're at home. Now, you're probably wondering why Microsoft partnered with ASUS instead of building their own Xbox handheld from scratch. Well, it turns out they actually had a first-party prototype codenamed Pembroke in development, but according to Windows Central, that project's been parked. Instead, Microsoft shifted those resources to something called Project Kennan, which is all about making Windows 11 actually good for handheld gaming. This is actually a pretty smart move when you think about it. ASUS already knows how to make gaming handhelds. They've been selling ROG Ally devices since 2023. Microsoft brings the software magic, the Xbox ecosystem, and that Game Pass library. It's a match that makes sense, and it gets Xbox into the handheld market way faster than if they built everything from scratch. The software side is where Microsoft is really trying to differentiate. That new Xbox shell they built for Windows isn't just a launcher, it's a complete reimagining of how you interact with a Windows gaming device. You can sign in with just your gamepad, no keyboard needed. The interface merges all your game libraries into one view. There's quick access to Discord, screen capture, performance profiles, all controlled with your thumbs. And here's the kicker. If you already own a Steam Deck or Legion Go, you'll get this same interface as an app update. You don't need to buy new hardware just for the UI. Phil Spencer's been talking about the importance of local offline play in recent interviews. He knows that cloud gaming isn't ready to replace native gaming, especially on the go where internet connections can be spotty. These handhelds let you install games locally, which is crucial for a good portable experience, but there's still the option for cloud streaming and remote play when you want it. The battery life question is interesting. The standard Ally packs a 60 watt-hour battery, while the Ally X bumps that up to 80 watt-hours. ASUS claims you'll get between 2 and 8 hours depending on what you're playing. That's a huge range, and we'll have to wait for real-world testing to see where most games land. But considering the Steam Deck OLED gets about 3 to 12 hours depending on the game, these numbers seem realistic. Here's something that might disappoint some Xbox fans, though. These aren't true Xbox consoles. They can only run Play Anywhere titles natively. Your other Xbox games will need to be streamed via cloud or remote play. It's still a Windows PC at heart, just one that's really good at pretending to be an Xbox. The market timing is going to be crucial. These launch during holiday 2025, right when everyone's wallets are already crying from Black Friday and Christmas shopping. They'll be competing not just with the established Steam Deck and the brand new Switch 2, but also with parents deciding whether little Timmy needs a $700 handheld or if that money's better spent on other gifts. For PC gamers who already have massive Steam libraries, these Xbox handhelds offer something the Switch can't: access to your entire PC game collection. For Xbox fans deep in the Game Pass ecosystem, it's a no-brainer upgrade from streaming-only solutions. But for everyone else, that's where Microsoft needs to prove the value. What do you think? Is Microsoft too late to the handheld party, or is this exactly what the market needs? The really interesting part is what this means for the future. Reports suggest Microsoft is still working on a true Xbox handheld for 2027 and beyond, possibly with custom silicon. Today's ASUS partnership might just be testing the waters, seeing if there's real demand for premium Xbox portables before committing to a massive hardware investment. For collectors and early adopters, pre-orders are expected to open later this summer. But don't expect these to be easy to find at launch. Limited stock and staggered regional releases mean you'll probably need to be quick on the trigger if you want one under the tree this Christmas. The bottom line, Microsoft's first handheld gaming devices aren't quite what anyone expected. They're not pure Xbox consoles, they're not just rebadged ASUS handhelds, there's something in between. A Windows gaming PC that boots straight into Xbox, plays everything from Game Pass to Steam, and fits in your hands. It's ambitious, it's different, and it might just be exactly what Microsoft needs to compete in the portable gaming revolution. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.